Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Donna Villa coming to you from Chicago, USA. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. Cardinal Dolan of New York has condemned the Pentecost Sunday church attack in Nigeria as, quote, brutal and senseless, end quote. In a statement, the top prelate said he is praying for the repose of the souls of those who lost their lives in the attack. He also appealed to the global community and here in the U.S. to take note of the rising tide of anti-Catholic and anti-Christian attacks in the West African nation. In a similar manner, the pontifical charity, Aid to the Church in Need, also slammed the attack at St. Francis Xavier Church in Nigeria's Ondo state that left 50 dead and scores injured. ACN said in a statement that the country has been rocked by episodes of terrorist violence, banditry, and kidnappings. The head of the Nigerian Catholic Bishops' Conference, Archbishop-elect Lucius Ogurji, also flayed the violent attack. Separately, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the United Arab Emirates also strongly condemned the terrorist attack. It affirmed the denunciation of criminal acts and terrorism. Close on the heels of a terrorist attack in the Church of Nigeria's Ondo state on Pentecost Sunday, there are reports that a Catholic priest was abducted from his rectory during the weekend. It was Father Christopher Itopa Onotu who was kidnapped from Obangede town in the central Kogi state. It was confirmed that he was kidnapped when parishioners went in search of him on Sunday when he failed to turn up for Mass. They found the doors and windows of the rectory damaged and his belongings scattered everywhere. Catholic priests are specifically targeted by bandits who indulge in kidnappings for ransom. On May 25, 2 Catholic priests belonging to the Diocese of Sokoto were abducted by armed men from Katsina State, and their whereabouts remain unknown. Earlier in May, there were reports that a Catholic priest who was abducted died in captivity between April 18 and 20. It was Father Joseph Akete Bako, hailing from the Archdiocese of Kaduna, who passed away. He was taken from his rectory at St. John's Parish in Kudenda on March 8 by gunmen. Archbishop Paul Coakley of Oklahoma here in the U.S. has urged lawmakers in the state to put an end to the death penalty. This comes after a federal court affirmed the constitutionality of the death penalty protocol of Oklahoma. The prelate issued a statement in which he said, quote, no matter the decision of the court on Oklahoma's protocol, the use of the death penalty only contributes to the continued coarsening of society and to the spiral of violence, end quote. He said that taking another life does not ultimately bring closure and peace to those who have lost a loved one. In a statement, Archbishop Coakley said that mercy perfects justice and brings healing. On Monday, June 6, District Judge Stephen Friet ruled against 28 death row inmates' argument. The inmates had argued that one of the drugs used in the lethal injection is an insufficient painkiller, making the execution extremely painful. The outgoing Apostolic Vicar of the Vicariate of Southern Arabia, Bishop Paul Hinder, has expressed gratitude for a church that has grown over the past 18 years in his last pastoral letter. In his letter, the former Apostolic Vicar of Catholics spread across the United Arab Emirates, the Sultanate of Oman, and Yemen, thanked the Lord for the years of experience in guiding a varied and multicultural flock. The Swiss prelate, who resigned after he turned 75, also made a special mention of how the church has grown in terms of the number of priests, believers, churches, and schools. He also made a reference to the historic visit of Pope Francis to Abu Dhabi, where he signed a document on universal brotherhood with the Imam of Al-Azhar. The prelate also mentioned the sad moments such as the killings of 4 missionaries of charity nuns in Yemen and the abduction of Salesian priest Father Tam Urunalil. In economic crisis hit Sri Lanka, the Archdiocese of Colombo has come out with a relief program for families that are affected the most. There will be short-term, mid-term, and long-term programs for such families according to the Archdiocese, and it will be implemented by human development committees in each parish. Members of the committee will gather details of the most affected families, such as those with disabled children, widows, and elderly people. The Catholic Church will provide assistance on a regular basis and will also try and find benefactors who can support such families. Foreseeing food scarcity, priests have encouraged home gardening. This decision was taken by Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit of Colombo in consultation with auxiliary bishops and the clergy. The social service arm of the Archdiocese has said that the help of the global community will be sought to implement this initiative. Catholics as well as Lutheran believers in Estonia came together in the capital Tallinn to pray for their suffering brothers and sisters in Ukraine. This was held at the Three-Handed Mother of God Church that the ecumenical prayer service was held on Pentecost Sunday. It was presided over by Father Roman Key, the vicar of the Ukrainian Greek Catholic parish in the city. Apostolic Administrator of Estonia, Bishop Philippe Jordan, and Lutheran Archbishop Urmas Vilma took part in the prayer service. The Ukrainian ambassador to Estonia, Mariana Betsa, also attended the service. There were also representatives from the Estonian Church Council. Addressing the gathering, Bishop Jordan said that his prayers go to the wives and children in Ukraine whose husbands and fathers have gone to the war front. Lutheran Bishop Vilma said that evil will never prevail and the people of God will win. The Chaldean Catholic Supremo Louis Raphael Sacco has condemned the treatment of Iraqi Christians as second-grade citizens. His beatitude decried how Christians are considered, quote, infidels and polytheists, end quote, in the land called the cradle of Christianity. He made this comment in an interview with Agencia Fides. The top prelate called the recognition of Christians by the authorities so that they can be at the forefront of society. Furthermore, the patriarch pointed out how the authorities offer legal, social, and political support for the Muslims, as the Iraqi constitution says only Islam is the source of legislation. This inevitably ends up discriminating against Christians and members of other faith communities. Cardinal Sacco asserted that Christians are not migrants. They were there in Mesopotamia even before the advent of Islam. On the occasion of the celebration of the Immaculate Heart of Mary on June 25, Mexican men will take over the streets of the capital reciting the rosary. According to Leonardo Brown, the Rosary for Men coordinator in Mexico, the participants will gather at the Metropolitan Cathedral in Mexico City. A Holy Mass will be celebrated at the cathedral, followed by a rosary procession and Zocalo in Mexico City. The rally aims to show the world the adherence of the Mexican Catholic men to Jesus. Several priests have urged men to take part in the Rosary Rally on the day when the Catholic Church celebrates the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Men have also been asked to attend the rally wearing white. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.